Good day everyone, welcome back. Now today we'd be taking a look at the M1A1 Abrams kit of Tamiya. This is the non-mind plow version. So right off the bat you can see that there are a lot of things going on with the turret. I did use the Tamiya modern military equipment set for this one, just so that there are more items on the turret. Now that set is the one with a lot of items and also those ration boxes or like papers that you just fold in and make the boxes, as well as some dogs to boot. Okay, so taking a look at the turret, you can see that most of the items are in and around. They're supposed to be like hung and placed in the bustle rack. You can see the Alice packs right there, and then also the water cans. Now this one, at first I thought these were ammo boxes. However, upon doing further research, I learned that these were actually converted into like personal storage bins. So you can see like markings for the driver, the loader, the gunner, and also the tank commander. Now this orange piece right here, I did forget the name or like the official term for it, but this is basically very reflective, and the purpose of it was to like distinguish the allied tanks or friendly tanks from the air. So let's say, for example, there's an air sortie by jets or probably attack helicopters, and when they see this or when they see the tank and then there's something very reflective on it, they would know that it's a friendly and won't mistake them for the enemy. So yeah, that's it's mostly it for the turret. You can see that the optics right there are like um the periscopes right there are quite reflective, or well, actually for this and also this, since they are clear plastic parts. However, for the tank commander's cupola, they are built in already, but Tamiya did change that later on. But they're like molded in, so you just have to paint the surface, which kind of defeats the purpose of it being reflective. I mean, somehow it is reflective, but not as reflective as the one you'd see right here. So anyhow, that's mostly it for the turret. Not a lot going on. You can see the MG for the loader and also the MG for the tank commander. Now for the hull, pretty simple and straightforward. You have the driver's hatch right here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yes, it's still movable. I just left it movable. And yeah, you can just lift it quite slightly and then move it to the side. However, there's really nothing going on here unless you do build like attachment point for driver figure. But yeah, it would be better off closed. So anyhow, just going around, it's pretty simple and straightforward. These are already built in mesh or like the grills, and so you just have to detail them a little. Then around the back you can see the exhaust unit. So I went ahead and painted it black, as I did see some units um yeah, there's some units in Iraq that used the black exhaust. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why there are Abrams that have that black exhaust unit, and then also some that are just like desert tan. So for those who know, please do leave it down in the comments below. Now for the weathering, I went ahead and dirtied it up quite a bit for like comparison for the dirt and also the dust, as this operated heavily in the desert. So you'd have an accumulation of different kinds of dust. Now for the front, once again, you can see clear parts for the driver's optics. And then for the headlights, they are unfortunately built or like molded in already, so you just have to paint it over. For the tracks, you can see the weathering right there. Track pads are relatively clean as they are always rubbed on, but of course the base is kind of dirty. So here are the unit markings, quite simple. Then going around the side once again, you can see that there it's quite dirty. Also the markings, tactical markings. So yeah, fits and issues with the kit. All right, so hold on, let's try to scale this back into place. All right, there we go. So now for the fitting and issues. Fitting was pretty much straightforward. Something you'd expect from Tamiya, like another shake and bake. However, there were some minimal gaps, especially the attachment points here for the upper and lower hull. You have a small gap here. Then also for this part, as you can see, the back panel is actually a different piece. So you would have to glue that on to the bottom tub. And then for the upper hull, you glue it together. Now, if you're not careful, there would be a gap that would form around this area, the back. So once you have that in, you would have to make sure that there's no gap, or at least if there are minimal gaps, just fill it in, sand it down, and you wouldn't have any problems. I did mention in the inbox review that it does lack the anti-slip coating that you would normally see on an Abrams. So that's one thing that you have to consider when building this. Or you could make your own using certain material and texture, but you could also build it out of the box, of course, minus the coating. But nevertheless, it's a classic piece of Tamiya, since they do have quite the extensive Abrams line, like from the M1 itself, then the A1, the A1 mine plow, the A2 OIF, and also the A2 Tusk 2. So there you have it, the Tamiya M1A1 Abrams. Oh, I almost forgot. Now on top of this, you can see the red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes. I got that from their M1 Abrams kit, the one I did a review on months ago. The kit I got had two decal sheets, so initially only one decal sheet, and it had the American flag on it, so of course you would have to use that on the M1 Abrams, and if I'm not mistaken, there's also an option for that. However, when I was kind of toying around with the sheet, I noticed that it was doubled, so when I checked, there were actually two decal sheets in the kit. So I just got the other one and used the American flag decal and placed it on his M1 Abrams. Alright, there you go. The M1A1 Abrams, and this would be, or ideally this would be the one that was used during the Gulf War. And on the next episode, we'd be taking a look at the helicopters that I did an inbox look of on this channel. And then after that, I would be doing yet another inbox look, as I do have some backlogs to do. Until next time, stay safe, keep modeling, goodbye.